Good morning, guys. It's Friday. It is Friday, and after today, spring break begins. I know it's a different feeling than what spring break would normally feel like. Some of us might be traveling, some of us might be taking a long break from long school days, but this time it's a little different. We are staying where we are, or should be staying where we are, and taking a break from learning. I will be taking a break from teaching. There won't be any assignments next week. If you want to stay on top of stuff, you're welcome to do that. You can go online and do any activities that you find on Launchpad, but take this time to relax, hang out with your parents, just be kids, bother your parents more than you've been doing the last few weeks. Spend time with them, read with them, play with them. Just try to be relaxed and not worry about all the stuff that's going on right now and worry about school, and know that I'm thinking about everybody, and I'm going to be relaxing too. I'll be doing some puzzles, hanging out with my dogs, hanging out with Mr. Phelan, and taking lots of walks, going outside when I can, and just relaxing, reading, all that fun stuff. So with that being said, I don't have any news for anybody. Y'all been doing so good this week, keeping up with your work, and I appreciate everything y'all have done. We are on our last chapter in Wayside School is Falling Down. It's the last chapter. The book is going to be over after this, so I'm going to have to come up with a different book when we return from spring break. Any suggestions are welcome. I don't know if there's another Wayside School after this one, if there's a third book in the series. If there is and you know about it, let me know. I would love to hear it. I can order it, and we can start reading it when we come back from the break. But until then, we're going to go ahead and go on to Chapter 30, Wayside School is Falling Down. And I just wanted you guys to notice, my dogs are both sitting here right now. Clover! Hey, and Salem! They're both sitting here, and they want to listen with you guys, and just want to say hello. Clover is licking me, and she won't stop. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Chapter 30, Wayside School is Falling Down. A strong wind whooshed around the playground in the early morning before school, blowing dirt and leaves in the faces of the children. When the bell rang, they could hardly make it from the playground to the school. The wind was blowing directly at them, pushing their hair straight back. With every gust of wind, the school building teetered one way, then tottered back the other. As they headed up the stairs, they could feel the building sway back and forth. The higher they got, the more it swayed. "Hooray!" yelled Kathy. "Wayside School is falling down." "What are you so happy about?" asked Joe. "We'll all die." "Yes, but we won't have to do our homework," said Kathy. They entered the room on the 30th story. Mrs. Jules rang her cowbell. "Find your seats," she said. That wasn't easy. All the desks were crammed together on one side of the room. The building swayed and the desks slid to the other side of the room. Finally, the children all found their seats and planted their feet firmly on the floor. They're walking around a lot, making a lot of noise. "We're going to have a fire drill today," Mrs. Jules told them, "so let's be prepared." You'll see them. Sorry, they're being very distracting right now. Guys, chill out. Clover, chill out. Maybe they'll stop long enough so you can finish the book. So finally, the children all found their seats and planted their feet firmly on the floor. "We're going to have a fire drill today," Mrs. Jules told them, "so let's be prepared. Who is our door monitor this week?" "I am," said Mauricia. "Good," said Mrs. Jules. "Who is our help monitor?" "I am," said Jason. "Very good," said Mrs. Jules. "You have a big mouth." Stephen raised his hand. "What if there really is a fire?" he asked. "There's not going to be a real fire," said Mrs. Jules. "It's just a drill." "I know, but what if there really is a fire?" asked Stephen, "and then the firemen won't come because they'll think it's a drill. The school will burn down." "Don't worry," said Kathy. "The school is not going to burn down. It's going to fall down." Bleep, 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 bleep. It was the fire drill. Mauricia, the door monitor, held open the door. Jason, the help monitor, ran to the window. "Help!" he screamed. "Save us! We're up here! Help! Help!" Mrs. Jules led the children out of the room. If there was a real fire, the children might not be able to see her because of the smoke, so she constantly rang her cowbell. There wouldn't be time to go all the way down the stairs either. Mrs. Jules led them up the ladder and through the trap door to the roof. If there was a real fire, helicopters would rescue them. The wind was even worse on the roof than it was on the playground. Mrs. Jules... Sorry. There's a dog walking by. So we're very excited about that. Maybe they'll stop. Sorry guys, there's all kinds of distractions on my videos today. Maybe. Again. Okay, maybe that's not. The wind was even worse on their roof than it was on the playground. Mrs. Jules stood in the center and held the cowbell high above her head. Now there's a man walking outside. Okay. I think we're good now. Okay, so they're on the roof. The wind was even worse on the roof than it was on the playground. Mrs. Jules stood in the center and held the cowbell high above her head. She looked just like the Statue of Liberty. "Everyone stay away from the edge," she warned. Kathy sang, "Wayside School is falling down, falling down." "It's not falling down," said Stephen. "It's burning down, and no one will rescue us because they think it's a drill." Jenny noticed a dark, funnel-shaped cloud off in the distance. "Tornado!" she screamed. We're all going to get sucked off the roof." A flash of lightning lit the sky, followed by a loud crack of thunder. "We're going to be struck by lightning," shouted Todd. "No, we won't," said Stephen. "We'll burn in the fire." "No, we'll be sucked up in the tornado," said Jenny. "No, the school is going to fall down," said Kathy. Mrs. Jules continued to ring her cowbell. Kablonk, kablonk, kablonk. The strong wind carried the sound for miles. Suddenly, screams came from down below. Then the whole building began to shake violently. "Earthquake!" yelled Benjamin. "Fire," corrected Stephen. "The school must have been struck by lightning," said Todd. "Tornado," said Jenny. "All fall down," said Kathy. The building continued to rumble and shake. There were more screams. "Listen," said Myron. "They're trying to warn us about something." Down below, over 500 kids and teachers were shouting together, "Star-bringing purple!" "What are they saying?" asked Mrs. Jules. "I don't know," said Myron. Mrs. Jules rattled her cowbell. "Star-bringing purple!" they shouted again. "It sounds like star-bringing purple," said Myron. "What does that mean?" asked Mrs. Jules. Myron shrugged. Mrs. Jules rang her bell even louder. "Star-bringing your bell!" "Wait," said Myron. "They're not saying star-bringing purple. They're saying star-bringing your bell." "What's a your bell?" asked Mrs. Jules. She rang her bell even louder. The school shook and rumbled. "Stop ringing your bell." "Stop something," said Myron. Mrs. Jules rang her cowbell. "Stop ringing your bell." "Stop ringing your bell," said Myron. "Oh," said Mrs. Jules. She stopped ringing her bell. Down below, all the students and teachers clapped their hands. But it was too late. Rondi opened the trap door. "Cows!" she exclaimed. The school was filled with cows. From all over the countryside, cows had heard Mrs. Jules's cowbell and heeded the call. There were thousands of them. They filled the stairs and all the classrooms. There was no way for the children to get down. Helicopters finally came and took them one at a time off the roof. Wayside School didn't blow down. It didn't burn down. It wasn't struck by lightning, or sucked up in a tornado, or destroyed by an earthquake. It was cowed. No one knew how to get rid of the cows. Cows are strange animals. They don't mind walking upstairs, but nothing can make them walk downstairs. Someone suggested starving the cows, but the farmers wouldn't allow that. Thousands of bales of hay were sent in. Several cows had calves. The newspapers thought it was funny and made jokes about smart cows learning to read and write. And so Wayside School was closed. The kids and teachers were temporarily sent to different schools. Only one person stayed behind. He was there all day and all night trying to get the cows to go home. "Come on," pleaded Lewis, the yard teacher, as he pushed and pulled on the cows. "Go home, please. Pretty please." Everybody mooed. And that's it. What a silly way to end our great book. So they all got kicked out of school because the cows took over. And that's it. That was Wayside School is Falling Down. We finished another book together. I hope that you guys have a wonderful spring break. Salem says, "I hope you have a wonderful spring break." Yes, he does. And I will be back Tuesday, April 13th with more work new videos, maybe some new activities for us to do together. My surprise, I've been working on my surprise. It's been ordered and I'm waiting for it to get here. So once that is here, I will get that all together and hopefully get it to you guys. I've got something, a little something for everybody, just to let you know that I'm thinking about you. So great spring break. If you want to talk, feel free to message me. Read. That's all you need to do, really. Read and hang out with your family and just relax. Okay? I love you guys. I miss you. And I'll see you on April 13th.